Do you go to their beach?
Well, occasionally we go take their rocks, yes. Don't tell them.
The energy behind it, right? Can they go to your beach and take
No, they
can't?
cannot. They are not allowed.
Actually, there is one beach there I can. First beach.
They're not allowed to take any of our rocks or any of our sticks.
You can actually. Welcome to the Driving to the Rest podcast. This is Inelia.
And this is Larry. Just a quick note. If you're hearing this, you're on our free feed, which means you'll only get the first part of this conversation.
To access the rest, go drivingtotherest.com and subscribe to the Wisdom Keeper Hour.
Join us and our expert panelists for detailed insights and the after party where you're invited to join in the conversation. Head over to drivingtotherez.com and become a subscriber.
Your $8 subscription keeps this podcast ad-free and helps us keep the lights on and maybe even get a decent cup of coffee. More importantly, it connects you with a community of passionate wisdom keepers like yourself. So if you're ready to go deeper, join us at drivingtotherest.com and support the journey. This week
yes.
on our podcast, Driving to the Res, which you can find at drivingtotherest.com.
Yes, good.
On our first half, we'll be talking about, just read you the actual title, Heroes, Villains, and the Lies We Tell Ourselves. Last week, we actually talked about a very uncomfortable topic that we figured out a lot of people on the planet are
seem to have experiencing.
Yeah, they're experiencing. And in that article and podcast, we went into detail on what we can do when we find ourselves in that situation.
Shocked and surprised, and easy to get into, a bit what this article is about, a victim-aggressor cycle.
Exactly, victim-aggressors. And I've mentioned victim-aggressors a lot of times. So before we go into the article, though, the second pre-message.
Housekeeping-ish?
Yeah. I just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be doing a lot of changes at Driving to the Res that really support our listeners. And our tech fairy, Ilya, is working really hard behind the scenes to have it all sorted and done very soon. And we've also got one of our panelists, Kara, Dr. Kara. She's doing a lot of items in the background as well. And we're hoping that very soon you're going to be able to subscribe to an amazing offering from from Driving to the Res. And the other thing that I wanted to clarify, in case this is the first time that you've joined our podcast, and if you go into our archives, you're going to find that we have evolved and morphed and changed throughout the years. How many years do you remember? A lot of years.
A lot of years, I think 4 years.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah. So we have a lot of history and articles and podcasts. And for a few months now, we have been really focusing our podcasts on my articles. So I'm Inelia Benz. I'm a polymath, musician, philosopher, writer, novelist, and podcaster. And this aim for us for the podcast, and I don't know if it might actually evolve into something else, because our co-creation of the universe is very fluid. So it might morph into something else, but at the moment we're basing it on my articles and how really get into the nitty-gritty and understand what it's said in them and bring empowerment, right, into people's lives. So if you're into the woo-woo stuff, if you're into mystical stuff, or how reality works, how the matrix works, and how to become really good at creating your own realities, you're in the right place, don't you think?
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
Start.
Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the second hour, though, to get really in depth and where we don't censor anything. Heroes, villains, and the lies we tell ourselves. So the aim of these articles is to really explore and understand a cycle of victim-aggressor. Okay, shall I read a little bit and then we can talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of my work, I talk about the victim-aggressor-savior martyr cycle. And in this article, we're going to talk about the victim-aggressor part of that cycle.
We'll do savior martyr
next. Yes. Mostly I have spoken about the cycle in how it is experienced by individuals in their normal life experience and what they can do to step out of it at an individual level, right? So a person finds himself either blaming someone or being a victim or in a very bad situation where it's like, what the hell's happening here? Then that would be what I've mostly talked about in the past. Yes, at a very personal level. But recently, I have been making music. Do you want to tell them what my music's like?
You have to experience it. Go to
Inelia Records.
IneliaRecords.com and just get the first album.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I listen to music on a regular basis, I'll say, honey, listen to this. And she'll say, what are the lyrics first? And I go like, well, I don't know. It just sounds good. It's like, you better listen. Find out what the lyrics are.
Yeah.
You don't want to be playing this music over and over again and filling your subconscious with low frequency negative lyrics.
Right.
So I will often enough look and I'll look like, oh, geez, why would they write it like that? It sounds so good, but it reads so bad. And I think that might be part of the tactic.
Yeah, I think so.
To make it sound so good and then slip in some that's not so good into it.
Mm-hmm.
So your lyrics are good.
Thank you.
As in high frequency, life affirming.
Life affirming and empowering.
Yeah. The sound is great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like all A pluses, right? So I could put it on repeat. I have put it on repeat. I can repeat one song even for hours or a whole day, and it doesn't get old, and I'm still like enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I feel lifted.
And relaxed.
I feel
empowered. Clean.
Cleared.
Now,
just feel good.
Yeah, and I'm really liking the tools that I'm using. I'm using synthesized voices and synthesized instruments.
Right.
And it's been a really excellent journey, which we will also have another podcast around.
Yes.
But anyway, let's go back to the victim-aggressor. So
the victim-aggressor, that was what was coming in, the lyrics, right?
The lyrics, yeah. So the lyrics of a lot of popular music is really disempowering. And so when I was working with those energies, like, for example, one of my synthesized bands that I'm creating music with as a creative process, and there's another story behind it because these bands are mentioned in the new series of novels that I'm writing, right? So it's part of the world creation and lore for these novels. Anyway, so I was working, and it's a Native American band from Larry's tribe, the Makai people, and I found that as I was stepping into, because I do it energetically, as I was stepping into the lyrics, and I used to write a lot of lyrics as a young person, but then I stopped and I started again. I was like, invasion of lyrics.
All blend.
Everything is lyrics.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm digressing.
Do you need to write a lyric, honey?
Yeah. So it's like I was writing. No, it was funny actually. The other day, I was writing the next article in our podcast series.
And were you writing it as lyrics?
And it started coming out as lyrics. It's so funny.
That is funny.
Anyway, so I was tapping into it, and I kept getting all the overlay of victim-aggressor stuff on top of Native American tribes.
It's been really very heavily promoted. I mean, that's an identity practically.
Yes.
You just wear it.
Yes. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And I saw it as a massive wall that you had to go through. So I did. And I started working with the lyrics that were coming from, we're people, we're adults, and we have choices and we have options, and we choose what we experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, when writing the lyrics for these particular songs, I found that I had to get past a massive wall of victim aggressor. For example, lyrics in rap music will often illustrate a wall of victim aggressor in many different iterations. As I looked at that wall, I saw how the music industry has used it to maintain people in a state of disempowerment, a shrunken awareness, due to the belief that they're powerless over their circumstances because they're an oppressed people, results in their free choices being made from a less than ideal viewpoint.
Right. Which is it in a nutshell? You will be the victim or the aggressor from a narrower field of awareness.
Yeah.
If you expand your awareness, then you can't play that game. You don't want to play that game.
Right.
I guess that's part of it. As you expand your awareness, I think you find that you don't have to be the victim, so you can then become the aggressor, right? That's generally where you stop.
Yeah.
But if you go beyond the aggressor and see them both, then you'll find you're in a whole different state. And then if you start filling your brain up with these movies and lyrics and popular cultures, you'll find the drama and the entertainment and the juice will be amplifying the narrower victim aggressor cycle as that's actually ideal. You don't want to be the victim. You should be the hero or whatever, right?
Or the aggressor.
Or the aggressor,
Yeah.
And
then
you'll be like patient until you can't take it anymore, and then you like go kill them all.
Yeah. Or it's good to be a victim, you know, it's sexy and people love you if you're the victim, you know, it's like, or the oppressed or the follower or the slave. It's bizarre.
It's strange how it permeates so much, especially
culture and media.
The culture, right? And
people don't even listen to these words. They're just going unconsciously. There's like, the music is really cool. And a lot of words. I mean, if you think of your favorite song, you're going to go, we are the champions, my friend. La, 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 la. Yeah. Whatever, you know. I'm purposely singing it out of tune, by the way. But it's like, most people don't remember what comes next. And the words are there. I mean, maybe you do remember. I remember the lyrics for that song. But it comes in, and a lot of songs, you go, what did they just say? I can't quite make out that bit there of that song. And you buy the lyrics and you read them and go, oh my gosh, right? So, yeah.
The point is victim or aggressor or none of the above.
You're getting programmed into you. So what do you want? None of the above, right?
You want none of the above, but the only things on offer are victim or aggressor.
Yes.
So that tends to be...
Spotify hasn't actually made a category where musicians can put in their music that says demonic free or demon free or no victim aggressor stuff. They do have explicit or not explicit, thank goodness, right?
I did see one that was demon infested on purpose. Hell music, I think they call it.
Hell music?
As a genre.
Yeah, as a genre you have...
music from hell and demon...
Yes. You have that option, but you don't get the other.
You don't get the other.
You know, free of demonic possession.
Oh my God, because I was doing a little research, I watched a video of a guy as a drummer, and I literally believe that's it. It was like, what? That's a genre? And the comments, there's like 1,000 comments like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I'm like, holy
bizarre, crap. Right?
It's like, why?
I know. Yeah.
How is that anything but disturbing and revolting?
I know.
Okay.
That's what I came up with. Or the wall that
shockingly revolting.
Yes, that's the wall. Oh my gosh, you know.
That's the wall
Yeah.
Right.
So this made me curious. I mean, why keep a certain faction of the world population in a state of disempowerment?
And who? That was one of my questions.
Who's keeping them disempowered?
Yeah, well...
so the media.
I don't know.
Well, figure it out.
A few companies, I guess.
Just one little group. That's all I can say. Why spend billions of dollars to target these people and make them think they're powerless and the children of slaves, exile, oppression, and exploitation, and genocide, actually, too? And that's the bit where I want to shine some light on this article.
Okay.
So because most of the stuff that I've written is about the person becoming empowered and stepping out of these cycles. But how do we do it as a people, the people of Earth? You know, that's what interests me right now. Our awareness and focus are much more powerful these days. And I'm thinking that if we can spot the wall that is created for powerful people, our people on Earth, we can start disassembling this illusion of disempowerment. What is important? This is a question that seems redundant. Why is this important? Right? Why is it important to dissolve this wall? This is a question that seems redundant. However, when we look behind it, we can see that not everyone on Earth is keen on taking their power back and becoming a sovereign being. If we look too closely, the illusion of being oppressed may crash, and people around the world might no longer be kept under chains of their own programs and ideologies. Yet, some actually prefer this experience, and that is a part of that presents challenges in moving forward to a high-frequency, high-caliber population on Earth.
Right, because I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably are one of the high-frequency, high-caliber people.
Yeah.
That's what you're interested in, self-empowerment, empowering others, empowering yourself, not being a part of the victim-aggressor games or the savior-martyr games, having a different experience of life. Yet, if you're anything like me, when you run around outside, you find there are people who actually do like that. And you can't seemingly understand, was like, this is what you want? Well, it is. It is what they want.
Yeah, it's weird.
So like when you have your argument with someone who wants a certain experience, that's all you're going to be in, is an argument.
Yeah.
Because they're not interested in exiting their fun and game. And your entry into their fun and game, the only way you can enter into their fun and game is by playing their game with them.
Yeah.
That's the only game they're willing to play.
Either a victim or an aggressor.
Right. So you're either going to be the victim of this conversation or the aggressor in it, but you can't enter their you can't enter their reality without joining their reality.
Right. That reality, that cycle. Mm-hmm.
So there are tactics. And one of the tactics is, it's what we're doing right now. We're having a conversation.
Yes.
And we're having it with you.
Yes.
And you are interested in hearing this.
Yes. And shining
that's a start.
This stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now, do you want to find out how to address whole populations of the planet?
Yes.
Okay, let's carry on then. The reason I see this tremendous effort to keep this section of society oppressed is because these are the people who, if awake, aware, and empowered, are the most powerful of all. And I don't mean power over others, but powerful in their connection with each other and their ability to weave a new paradigm into existence, one we haven't seen on these continents for millennia. Convinced the most powerful that they are marginalized victims and powerless in the face of their generational traumas, and they co-create exactly what they've been convinced of.
Yes, it is true.
Yeah. I've done all I can to reach people across the world to deliver the message of empowerment, but my words, my articles, and novels are simply not enough. We find that most of the time, even among the most awake of light beings, my words are twisted out of their original meaning and made into something completely different, or simply forgotten, or the main message just not seen at all. Because of this, my words are changing. My message is taking other expressions, such as novels, music, art, and my articles are less fluffy, not in the sense of being aggressive or harsh, but simply going into depth I had not expressed in the past. And this includes driving to the rest.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not sure if you consider yourself part of the oppressed peoples of the world, or even the aggressor people of the world. So let me explain. No matter the color of your skin, if you believe yourself to have been victimized, or feel victimized right now, then you're one of them. If you feel that the color of your skin, or sex, or your body makes you the bad character of this movie, then you're one of them. You see, the illusions to work, the narrative needs victims, aggressors, saviors, and martyrs, All of them. Some people, someone or a people cannot become the aggressor or the victim in isolation. So if you're by yourself or people are by themselves, they can't become victim because they need the other, right? The other.
Well, I mean, is there anyone who is not?
What?
Who is separate from everyone else? There isn't any ways.
That doesn't exist.
So all of them are linked in some way to others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's I guess it's almost a utopian vision that there's two groups of people who are powerful and get along well together. Or there's also many iterations of populations who are next to each other who like always fighting each other, or one's the victim, one's the aggressor. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so for, let's say, a victim, a nation to go to war. Let's
start about town. How about like Nia Bay and Clallam Bay?
There you go.
That's like real close. Two communities there. Mm-hmm. They're related geographically by 15 miles. Mm-hmm. One has a Native American village. Mm-hmm. And one has a, well...
immigrant village?
Not the word Native American village. It's a state town.
A white town?
Well, not necessarily. There's all different races in it, but it's a regular old American town.
Let's say not Native.
Formed around industry.
Okay.
So a town formed around industry, and a Native American village that's not really formed around an industry so much as just been there for a very long time.
Yes.
Right. So those two communities are next door to each other.
There. Yes.
And there's a victim-aggressor cycle between the two to some degree, right?
Okay.
Like the football teams, the basketball teams, they are
always
like who's the better team.
Okay.
And they're the competitor of each other.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
For the most part, right?
Okay. Do you go to their beach?
Well, occasionally we go take their rocks, yes. Don't tell them.
The energy behind it, right? Can they go to your beach and take
No, they cannot. They are not allowed.
Actually, there is one beach there that can. First Beach.
They're not allowed to take any of our rocks or any of our sticks.
They can actually.
No, they're not.
The beach next to the guard, what's it guard? That military installation at the
Coast Guard beach?
The Coast Guard beach. They can take it from there, but nowhere else.
Well, because that's not the reservation. That's not Nia Bay. That's like London in London City.
Okay.
It's like Washington, D.C.
Yes.
So that's not really the res. That's like federal.
Anyway, tell me more about this.
Yeah, they're not allowed to take our sticks, but we can take their sticks.
Okay.
They probably don't like that. They would probably make a rule if they could.
Yeah, probably. Can you feel the other energy there between Larry and Clallam Bay? Although a lot of Macaws live in Clallam Bay.
And go to Nia Bay or Clallam Bay school and play on the Clallam Bay team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they wish they were back at Nia Bay playing on the Nia Bay team.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm teasing.
You're teasing.
I think some of them go there because, the victim aggressor cycle in the area is amplified.
Yes.
Tremendously.
Yes.
And so they would be going to the Clallam Bay school because of the victim aggressor energy where they were. Mm-hmm. And this would be their escape from that.
Yeah.
Stop being the victim maybe, and then they'll go there and be the aggressor on the, other way.
Yeah.
Just changing the role. Although I imagine there are probably some who find peace. I don't know.
You don't know.
But it's like, it is amplified.
It is amplified, yeah.
Even town to town.
Yeah, and it's not even... I mean, I'm pretty sure this happens in many places, not necessarily with Native American villages.
Yes, all over, I'm sure.
All over, yeah. With that in mind, let's see how to step out of this cycle.
Okay.
As individuals, it is very easy because I have given you the tools to do so over decades and over a decade and a half now. But as a people of the world, it is slightly different. It requires a bit of mental gymnastics and stepping outside of the light-dark matrix itself.
Okay.
For that purpose, I created a tool I called Observation with a 0 at the start. And this, my dear listener, is the call to action for this year. Are you ready for a call to action? Do you know what one of those is?
I'm guessing do something.
Yes. Like action. Let's do some action here.
All right.
Let's be an activist. Let's be active. The act of observation is when we simply look at a topic, object, or person, and in this case, the mantle of victim-aggressor on a people. You could say the white people of America, or the native people of the world, or Black people, or Asian people, or
some group that has a definition of a group.
And it would work, like sometimes we do a group that we don't belong to, but if you can, do a group that you actually belong to.
Okay.
Right? Or you identify with. Do you identify with a white American middle-class male that is a demon right now in the victim-aggressor world of Western society?
No.
No. You can't double dip in there, Native American and white middle-class.
Well, you had a lot of words in there that I wouldn't identify with.
Like?
A white American demon infested something or other. Like, no, I have a hard time identifying with that.
Demonized.
Demonized? Demonized white boy?
Yes.
No, I can't do that. Okay. I could try.
No, you don't have to try. Don't try and put on a mantle. What we're trying to do is remove them.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So I did wear that one for a while.
You did?
Yeah.
Huh. How about that?
It was I don't know about being demonized because it was celebrated.
Oh, it was celebrated?
Yeah. When it became demonized, I didn't even know it.
Oh, okay.
I had already dropped that one.
Oh, okay.
Picked up other ones.
Okay. That's quite funny. Okay, so you
were telling us about observation. So when we're going to do an observation, in this case, we're going to observe
a people
that we have an identity with.
Or not necessarily.
Well, now you've confused me.
I said you can. It'll be great if you can, but you don't have to. You can choose another people.
When we observe another people, will we be observing the people, or will we observe our idea of what they might be carrying? It's like you look at these Native Americans who are oppressed over there, and you think oppression, and you're going to observe the oppressed natives over there. Is that the idea?
The actual mantle, the victim mantle.
Okay, so I'm still not clear. So was that a yes?
You're not looking at the people over there. You're looking at the mantle that they carry.
Of a victim, for instance.
Yeah.
What if I'm projecting that on them?
So you will be observing that your projection of it. When I look at that people, I think they're oppressed. That bit.
Will it work similarly if we think that they're the lucky ones?
Yes.
We're observing them. What mantle of the lucky
Maybe
ones?
Aggressor? No, we're not going to do lucky. We're going to do victim or aggressor. I think those are the aggressors. They did all this to them. Or we did all this to them. Or they're doing that to us. We're observing the victim-aggressor mantle, so those words are contained within it.
Okay, so then we would tend to want to observe groups that we consider to be victims or aggressors of some kind.
Yeah.
So if we could think of
Gaza.
Okay, Gaza, people being victims of...
Or aggressors. Some people think they're the aggressors.
Or Gaza, people being the aggressors of either one. Yeah. So we would observe that.
Were there the people that are involved in the victim-aggressor with Gaza?
Well, depending on your point of view, it could be the Israelis, it could be the other Muslim countries that surround them, like Egypt or whatever. It could be the Americans, could be.
Yeah, so you've got lots of options there. Tons of options.
So you're observing the Gaza people,
yeah,
and then as victims or as aggressors, depending on your viewpoint of them. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Okay. Then
what?
Okay, so we look at it. Okay, let me start again because I got a little bit confused there. Okay. The act of observation is when we simply look at a topic, object, or person. In this case, the mantle, victim, aggressor, and a people. But you do not have any interaction with it. You don't interact with the mantle. We observe it and experience observation of the topic, object, or person, but don't judge it. Thoughts about it are thanked and released. We step out of the way and simply allow the universe to look at them, the item, through your eyes. So, for example, let's say we're looking at Gaza.
Okay.
And let's say we think that they're victims.
Okay.
For example. Now, we look at it and we go, okay, so there's the victim mantle. You can even visualize it like a blanket over the Gaza Strip, you know?
Okay.
And then you think, and a thought comes in, poor people.
Poor children.
Poor children. So you go, okay, thank you for that. Poor people, children, put it out of the way and continue just looking at the mantle. Okay, so that's a little bit how it works. When thoughts, emotions, judgment, wants, or feelings come up about the topic, thank them and let them pass through you, saying thank you for expressing. If one of these thoughts, emotions, judgments, and wants or feelings gets stuck, if you cannot release it easily, you can use the fear processing exercise to release it and then continue to observe the item. When we observe something and really want a certain outcome, what we move into, and it's not a negative thing, it is simply a different tool, is a conscious co-creation. In other words, we want to create a certain outcome of reality, and that is not what this call of action is about. We do not want to interfere with the observation exercise. So let's say you're looking at that mantle and you go, oh, I wish that that it would stop. I wish that they would stop. You know, I wish that this war would stop. That's an intent of co-creation. It's great. It's a great tool, but this is not what we're doing for this call of action to action. We're just looking at it. Have you heard that the observation affects the experiment?
Yes.
Okay. So this is like that, but you're stepping out of the way and you can imagine like the entire universe looking through your eyes.
So it's not you and your tiny little, I guess, narrow bit of perception as a physical being on the planet looking at a war situation with victims running all over the place. That's not the eyes you'll use. You'll use the eyes of the universe.
Right.
And look at it from a universal perspective, maybe where we're talking about the flicker of time that this is existent in is such a peak at a universal scale.
Yeah. And if you think about how every single person involved is an empowered divine being who has created the circumstance and orchestrated the circumstances for in between lives, right? Their higher self choosing paths for 10,000 years to get there, then it becomes a lot larger. And that's the largeness that we're looking through. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes because visualizing or stepping out of our thoughts is so hard, you can just use a photograph. You can just look at this photograph of the Gaza Strip in that case. Okay. All right. Sometimes when we observe, we get firewalls and a sense of no. So if we get those, we can process those feelings and firewalls with a firewalls exercise. Okay.
What would be an example of firewall?
A firewall?
I'm looking at the Gaza.
It's like it's impossible. Then there will never be peace there. That will be a firewall. When we use words like never, all of them, like complete generalized words, you know? Always, never, can't be done, impossible. All those words are firewall words, and you can process those with the firewalls exercise.
All right. So like a fear might be we're feeling like afraid for all of the victims there, or we're feeling like
that would be a fear processing exercise one. Yeah.
it's like I feel a huge amount of empathy for them, and it's like very sad or something. Those would be processed emotions.
Yes, you process those.
And firewalls would be I'm observing it, and I observe it, and I say it's impossible for this to resolve.
Yes.
That would be a firewall.
Yes, that would be a firewall.
Two different exercises. I'm not going to do a fear processing exercise on that. It says impossible. Right. But I'm also not trying, anyways, to bring these into the observation. These are things that make it more like a creation of my will.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why we want to get rid, not get rid of, we want to process those fears and firewalls so they aren't becoming part of this. They become...
We remove them out of
the universe actually can look instead of you.
Yes.
Little narrow you universe, and everyone that's you universe. You can look, right? Yeah. What is the consequence of doing an observation like this?
It resolves in the highest frequency way.
It resolves in the highest frequency way. Remember when we did an observation exercise on the oil drilling platform that was really like front and center, anchored up right in front of our boat, right in the middle of Port Angeles?
Yes.
It was like 100 stories tall. Giant thing. Going to Alaska to kill all the whales and the seals and destroy the world. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we did an observation on that with the people who are listening, with Walk With Me Now. And the consequence of that observation, what the highest frequency result ended up being for that situation, was pretty surprising. Because it did get a tugboat hooked up to the thing, and it towed it to Alaska.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, while it was doing that, I was thinking, okay, I guess the highest frequency result is go to Alaska. And then I think they hit some kind of storms, or they hit some kind of couldn't find their oil, or
no, it was really bizarre. It's so bizarre you can't even imagine it. So they took it all the way to Alaska, and then there was some sort of something happened with the companies involved, and it just sat there without being turned on.
Oh, that's right. It made there and it never turned it on.
Yeah,
so it became a nice little island for seabirds.
No, I think that then they sold it, or the company decided to take it, so they took it out to the North Sea.
North Sea, they took it out of the Arctic anyway.
Yeah, they took it away from Alaska into the North Sea.
Retired it even.
Well, I haven't finished.
Okay.
So they took it away from Alaska and took it to the North Sea, and then they decided to just leave it there. It was really bizarre, but it was really difficult also to find the history and the decisions.
Right.
We had to do some digging, deep dive into the internet to find out what these companies did with this particular one. We weren't talking about all of them, just that one.
At the time, that was making a big stir, a big stink, and there was big protests, and there were signs, and there was people tying themselves to it, and they had made laws. You're not allowed to tie that thing up in Portland or Seattle, or I mean, it was like big deal at the time.
It was a big deal.
And then to find it parked right in front of us was quite. Maybe we were living on our boat in the shipyard. Remember? We look out the front window and there's this giant yellow tower in front of us. Like, I think we might need to observe this situation.
And the funny thing was that when we were leaving, we made a little record, a video record of leaving fixing the Ilaria thing, because we had a fundraiser and everything to fix the Ilaria. And right behind me was this tower, and I think it was getting towed out of it at the same time. It was just bizarre. But so that's when things can happen, that we, in our engagement of light dark and feeding the beast, but with judgments and no, the bad guys have to die, or
machine needs to be destroyed or stunk, or etc. Because there were a lot of guys and gals.
They were very triggered.
There were a lot of guys and gals that were totally loving the fact they have a nice job.
100 people thing.
The machine itself is so happy to be at sea, doing its thing, getting towed around. It's like I got a job. It's like there was so much high frequency peoples having high frequency experiences, that your automatic judgment would like have them all fired, right? But they didn't get fired.
It gets very, very complex.
It gets very complex very quickly.
Yeah.
So when we observe it from that universal eyes, things can resolve in the highest frequency way, which we cannot probably
even imagine. Yeah, we can't even imagine. Yeah.
So just allow that.
And the moment that it got resolved, I remember I was looking at it. I was sitting in the car park looking at it. And then suddenly I was looking and there was this rainbow appeared and these eagles started flying around it. And I thought, oh, rainbows and eagles.
That's interesting.
Rainbows and eagles. And I can't remember what that translated into, but it was amazing. And I came back, Larry, you got to resolve these rainbows and eagles. And then you said, oh, that sounds like something. I can't remember what it was, but.
Seagulls.
Rainbows and eagles.
I don't remember the translation either, but I mean, I think we could look at it because we probably podcasted about it.
We did,
back in the day.
Yeah. We wrote about it for sure.
Right. And that ended up being what happened.
Rainbows and eagles. Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
It was
anyways.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we have used the exercise for many, many other things. And my students use it all the time as groups, because when you have a group or many people around the world doing it, it becomes more powerful. Anyways.
Yep, but it isn't for things that you want to resolve in a certain way.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Yeah. So, second hour. We're going to be talking about more powerful examples. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the panelists understand from the victim-aggressor cycle and the tool of observation.
Breaking up the drama cycle.
Yes.
And why do they spend billions?
Billions.
Amplifying this victim-aggressor cycle.
Yeah. If you want to look at the mystical sides of all these things, tune into the Wisdom Keeper Hour on drivingtotherest.com.
Which should be starting right about now. Give me a kiss.
Welcome, everyone, to the second hour of Driving to the Res, the Wisdom Keeper Hour. Today, you have myself, Dr. Kara, and
Fred Guerin.
Of course, Larry and Anelia.
Yay! Hi, guys. Hey.
So this topic, I have to say, Fred and I are experts in victim-aggressor martyr-savior, but also in stepping out of it.
Good job.
Which is the key.
That's the key.
Which is the key.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yes. So one of the common traps that I used to fall for, but don't anymore, is around wealth. So I remember like one moment where I literally chose to step out of the victim aggressor, and I didn't know it at the time actually, but in retrospect, after learning about your work and then seeing what was happening, it's like, that's what it was, that feeling.
Join us for the rest of this conversation at drivingtotherez.com.
And when you go to drivingtotherez.com and you join in the rest of the show, rest of the second hour, you also get to join in the after party. 9 o'clock on Fridays, we all get together, including you.